we're both on the same page.
Mm. So getting into the fight, obviously it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun in the corner. You spoke ahead of time saying that he wasn't ready, and you could kind of see that. Like I felt like there was a lot of relaxation inside there, no hesitation whatsoever to get him eager. But talk to me upon like from round one to like round two.
Well, round one, this is round one, filling out. I actually treated it like because the spawn part the tank had in tank and camp. I was like, shit, they had me like cringing. You know what I'm saying? Versus this, and don't get me wrong, Martin looked at big. He looked at big. Um, he looked at solid. But again, I know what's under my hood. I know Shorty. Um, he did exactly what we wanted. No one, what you call it. Our plan was to come out getting them, but again, we be patient. Be patient. See what he bringing. He bought what he was going to bring. You know, um, everything was good. Everything was good. Tank started off the way how we wanted him to start it off. Seeing what he had to bring, what he was bringing. And he came. He looked good. He looked good as shit.
He
And
came in a little different though in this fight.
no, he came in. That's how every fight going to be when you fighting somebody of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? It's a different caliber. Like everybody be talking about the Shakur and the Tank fight. It sounds good on paper, but I listen to a fighter say out their mouth. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you don't want to deprive the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to see a fight. Even the side, the different side. Shakur fans want to see a fight. Oh, he can beat him. He gonna do this. And listen to Shakur saying, "Man, some nights you got to make the fight boring." You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there saying, I ain't gonna get no engagement out of it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta run around and chase him half the night. What's the point? You know. Of course, he's a master boxer, and everybody say he can box very well. Woo, woo, woo. But again, when I go look at all the guys that stood in front of him, half of them he sparred already. Half of them he had relationships. Half of them he already knew who he was in the ring with. You know what I'm saying? But I believe if Martin would have took that fight with him, we'd have seen something. We'd have definitely seen something.
Hmm.
I used to call good money because when you stand in front of a guy that's standing in front of your guy and you see glimpses of certain things, you know what I'm saying? That would have been a real interesting fight for Shakur.
You know, he said in a recent interview that for Frank Martin and Tank fight looked like it looked like a pro and an amateur in there. That was his reactions to the fight. He obviously knew that this was going to be an easy fight for Tank, but in the same token, he's fighting a guy that Frank beat, that a lot of people seen that Frank had a lot of trouble with. Artem, which is a guy that's I think a bronze medalist at that as well.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think? Do you feel like that's a lineup? Do you think that's a lineup straight for Frank Martin?
Well, we have to wait and see how that performance for Shakur had. Because the reason why he couldn't get Frank Martin, so he got the next best thing, was the guy that gave Frank problem. But again, we don't know why he gave Frank problem. It could have been something going on with him, but he didn't expose it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, oh, this happened, that happened. This one ain't look good. He accepted it. It didn't look good, but he got the win. He did something good. They gave him the W. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm.
move on. But I do know one thing. Frank didn't look that way against Tank.